Good morning, students. We are going to see about the chapter 18, organization of tissues. The basic levels of organization is atoms. Atoms together form molecules. Molecules together form cell organelles. Cell organelles together form cells. Cells together form tissues. Tissues together form organs. Organs together form organ system. Organ system together form organism. Today we are going to see about tissues. In unicellular organism like bacteria and protozoans are made up of single cell. It contains only one cells. But multicellular organisms like higher plants and animals are composed of millions of different types of cells that are grouped into the different levels of organization. Multicellular organisms have specialized cells, tissues, organ system that performs particular functions. The plant tissues. The plant tissues are made up of vegetative or reproductive tissues. It is classified into two types, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. The meristematic tissues are group of immature cells that are capable of undergoing cell division. Characteristic features of meristematic tissue. They are living cells. They may be small, oval, polygonal, or round in shape. They are thin walled with dense cytoplasm, large nuclei, and small vacuoles. They undergo mitotic cell division. They do not store any food materials. This picture is the LS of meristematic tissues based on the position. Based on the position, there are three types: apical meristematic, intercalary, and lateral meristematic. In apical meristematic, these are found at the tip or apex of the root and shoot and bring about increase in length. Intercalary, it lies between the region of permanent tissues and it is part of primary meristem. It is found either at the base of the leaf or at the base of the internodes. In last, lateral meristematic, these are arranged parallel and cause the thickness of the plant part. Then function of the meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues are actively dividing tissues of the plant. These are responsible for primary elongation and secondary thickness of growth of the plant. Now we move on to the permanent tissues. When the meristematic tissues are stopped dividing, become permanent tissues. The permanent tissues are two types based on the functions. There are simple tissues and complex tissues. In simple tissues, it is a homogeneous tissues composed of structurally and functionally similar cells. It is three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And parenchyma cells are the permanent tissues composed of living cells. It is thin wall, oval, round, or polygonal shape. In aquatic plants, parenchyma possesses some intercellular airspace. It is known as parenchyma. When it is exposed to light, parenchyma cells may develop chloroplasts and also is called as chlorenchyma. Parenchyma may store water in many succulent plants and xerophyte plants. The plants are classified into three kinds: mesophytes, xerophytes, and hydrophytes. Hydrophyte means the plants which leaves plenty amount of water. The mesophyte means the plants need minimum amount of water. Xerophyte means plants which can survive in the little amount of water. So it also serves, permanent tissues also serves the function of storage of food reserves, absorption, buoyancy, secretion, and etc. Next, collenchyma. It is living tissues found beneath the epidermis. The cells are elongated with unevenly thickened non-lignified cells. It may be rectangular or tapering ends, persistent protoplast. It gives support for growing organs. Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma consists of thick walled cells which are often lignified. Sclerenchyma cells are dead and do not possess living protoplasm at maturity. Its cells are grouped into fibers and sclerites. Now we will move on to complex tissues. It is made up of more than one type of cells that work together as a unit. It is also divided into two types, xylem and phloem. Now we are going to see about xylem. It is a conductive tissue which conduct water, mineral, nutrition upwards from roots to leaf. It is consists of four types, namely xylem tracheids, xylem fibers, xylem vessels, and xylem parenchyma. Xylem tracheids. It is also elongated, tube-like dead cell with odd, thick, and lignified walls. They have large lumen without any content. Its main function is providing mechanical support to the plant. Xylem fibers. These cells are elongated, lignified, and pointed at both the ends. It also gives mechanical support to the plant. Next, xylem vessels. It is long, cylindrical, tube-like structure with lignified walls and wide central lumen. They are arranged in longitudinal series in which the partition walls are perforated, and so the entire structure looks like a water pipe. It provides mechanical strength to the plant. Xylem parenchyma. These are living and thin wall cells. In main function of the parenchyma is storing starch and fatty substances. Next, phloem. It is a complex tissue and consists of the following elements: sieve elements, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. First, we will see sieve elements. It is a conductive elements of the phloem or collective called sieve elements. The main function of sieve tube is translocation of food from leaves to storage organs of the plants. Companion cells. These are elongated cells attached to the lateral wall of the sieve tubes. A companion cell may be equal in length to the sieve tube. Phloem parenchyma. Phloem parenchyma are living cells which have cytoplasm and nucleus. Their function is to store food materials. Phloem fibers. Its main function is mechanical strength to the plant body. Now you all will take page 213. Let me explain about the differences between xylem and phloem vessels. In xylems, the main function is conducts water and minerals, whereas in phloem, it conducts only food materials. The second point, conduction is mostly unidirectional or single direction. Example like from root to leaves, whereas in phloem, it is bidirectional, roots to leaves or leaves to roots. Third point, in xylem, conducting channels are xylem tracheids and vessels, whereas in phloem, the conducting channels are sieve tubes. The last point, the components of xylems include xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers, whereas the components are sieve elements, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Thank you, students. With this, I have completed part 1 from the lesson Organization of Tissues. Okay, children, stay home, be safe, bye.